right.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, what's going on, sis?
Oh, nothing much, nothing much. Just wanted to come in for a little bit. Um, I know the live is Testimonial Thursday, so we just wanted to shed some light. And I did on the video that you did this morning with the young brother that was laid off from his job or got fired, a federal worker. And to me, I wanted to tell you, that was a great video, and how much of a testimony, that was. Um, and, a lot of times we don't realize how blessed we are. And that young man, how he was able to overcome the situation with him, losing his job on the day of him getting married, and how he just basically, said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to trust God. And then 5 to 6 weeks later, he's had several job um, offers, interviews, and how he just landed a job. And oftentimes we really take, uh, a lot of times we don't fully put our trust in God, and for him to do that and the results that he got, I think that was a testimony, within itself. So I just wanted to just come live today and just really uh speak on that, along with um some the thing that I told you about a few months ago, where I had a situation and I had been, just kind of stressing about it a little bit. I had not prayed about it, but I was stressing about it because it was literally the last day and I needed to make this happen. And just by me putting my trust and faith in God, how things just shifted, and God really turned it around, and it all worked in my favor. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Testimonial Thursday, and I remember that situation, and I'm just happy that everything worked in God's will and worked out for the best in your situation. I mean, we both had situations where it was parallel, and I think a lot of people could really benefit from this live and the video that was uploaded earlier this morning with that brother that got fired 5 weeks ago. And it's just a blessing to see that testimony come to fruition. And you know if you didn't get a chance to check out the video, it's called Follow Up on a Federal Employee that was fired by President Trump a few weeks ago. And you know, I just thought it was just good to get that follow up. His name is Teron on YouTube. So just really just take a moment to really thank God for all our blessings, because I've been having my situations as well. Everybody
Mhm.
got they battles they dealing with, and just to see how positive, even though things looked at on a certain way, if you just trust and believe and have the faith of a mustard seed, anything that you're going through could turn around for you at any moment. And we just got to trust the process and believe. So I just thought that was good that we were able to cover that, and get
Mhm.
that testimony in real time.
Mhm. Yep.
Regardless of who's in office or what the situation may look like, and it seems that he got an even better job. Your situation went through, at the right time. He don't always come when we call, but he's always on time. My situation
Mm-hmm.
got better. I got into a better situation. So it's just about giving glory to God for, even through the storm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know Proverbs Proverbs 3 if you go Proverbs 3 verse 5 through 6, it says trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You know, in all
Mm.
your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. So that with that gentleman, you know, how he was able to just use um use the that testimony, and how everybody was, you know, basically, you know, saying, you know, with how things were going on the federal level and people losing their jobs and different things of that nature. And I've also been in a position where I had to do a transition from a job. I've had to, uh, I've lost a job, you know, previously or whatever, but I did have to trust God and know that God had something better for me. And a lot of times we just have to take the things, even if we feel like they're lemons, you know, and make lemonade out of it. Because all the time, we may get a no, but in actuality, that no is helping us to be better, stronger, and that in the process of it, you know, it may be a yes. And that because every delay, you know what I'm saying, just because it's a delay doesn't mean it's denial. But we always have to understand and ask God, whatever it is, just for him to allow his will to be done, not our will, but his will to be done. Because often we can say what we want, but is it in God's will? You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so,
Exactly.
like, when we allow him to let his will be done in all circumstances, in all cases that, you know, things and that we may go through, like, he's gonna work it out. He can work it out far better than we can, because oftentimes too, we'll worry and we be like, you know, dang man, you know, it ain't coming through fast enough. I don't see this, I don't see that. And we worry and we're trying to do things in the process, and we may be making a mess out of it. And the whole time we want God to work, but we telling God, "Oh, I want you to do it," but then you put God over here in the passenger seat, and you want to drive. So sometimes God say, "You know what? Okay, so since this what you want to do, I'm gonna move myself out the way and let you this seat, let you have it." You know, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we just have to, you know, just know, put our trust in God, know everything gonna work out for our good. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation is, whatever you're going through. Because, you know, that situation that I told you that I was dealing with, I'm like, Lord, I need you to come through for me with this. Like there's no way. And when I tell you he will put the right people at the right place at the right time, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and it happened right, and you know, and I prayed about it too, and asked God to allow His will to be done. And when I prayed and asked for His will to be done, even though I wanted it, you know, but even if it didn't happen, I know it was within His will. You understand what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we have to just make sure we acknowledge God in everything that we do. Because oftentimes, like, you know, we can. We'll just want to do it, but we don't say, Lord, allow your will to be done. We want our will,
Absolutely.
but we don't know what God wants, you know what I'm saying, what He has in store for us. So, you know, we just have to really, you know, uh thank God for just everything, the small things. You know, even if you was able to get up this morning, you woke up this morning, you know, somebody didn't wake up this morning, you know. So we have to be grateful for the huge things, because that's huge to me. Some people would think that that's small, you know, well, you know, because it's oh, we just wake up. But no, you know, it was in God's will for us to, you know, wake up and be amongst the living, and you know, to be able to get it right one more day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got A Child. What's up, A Child? Peace of blessings. Peace of blessings. Yeah.
Hello,
Like
a child.
I remember that
Yeah.
situation, and sometimes we may worry, and we may, like you say, not see what the God's plan is, but hey, we just gonna give it over to Him, and we gonna just trust in the process and trust in the Word. And at that time, like you said, that's maybe the time where we need to get closer to God and pray on it and build and strengthen that bond, and just know, because I know I was going through, and
Mm-hmm.
worried about this, worried about that, worrying is, it's come with human nature. But like that guy, what I'm saying, that got that job, when he got fired, he just got a new job. He knew, you could just tell he had full confidence in God to make sure that he was gonna be all right. That man had just got married and then lose his job right when he got married, and he got a better job. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it ain't what happened to you, it's how you react to it.
Thank
You know what
you.
I'm
That's
saying?
right. Yep, that's true. That's true. Because sometimes, if you don't go through the test, you don't have a testimony. So this young man, he's a perfect example of what a testimony looked like. You understand? Because what he did, he went through a test. He could have just said, you know what, you know. He could have been mad with the world. He could have been mad because, mind you, this happened on this young man's uh, wedding day. He found out he lost his job on his wedding day. But what he did, he said, I'm gonna trust God through it all. I'm gonna give it to God because I know God ain't nothing I can do about it. I don't have a choice but to trust him and allow him to work this thing out for me. Because like he said, he don't know if God had, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times God can move you out of certain situations or jobs, whatever, because He want more of your time. Maybe this job was getting in the time that He may have been spending with God. Maybe the job was coming before a lot of things. So what He did was say, you know what? Now this gives me more time to do. You know what I'm saying? Do more the work of the Lord. I have more time now. And so during that process and that little time he had, God worked it out, and then look, he got something better. So, we just have to really thank God through everything. I don't care what it is, thank God for it. Even if it's a no, thank God for it. Even, you know what I'm saying, if it don't work in your favor, thank God for it. Because at the end of the day, God know, He know us. He know all about us. So,
Hmm.
we have to just give him thanks and praises through everything. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes, you run into people now, and that's why I say all of us are servants. I look at it as us as being servants. And that's why with your situations, when you did go through it, you know what I'm saying? By you sowing good seeds, it don't always have to be monetary. Your seeds could be pouring into someone. Somebody having a bad day. You understand what I'm saying? And you encouraging them. You know what I'm saying? Just things of that nature. And when you do that, God said, you know what? I know he knew that you probably would have a bump up the road. And throughout that little bump you had up the road, he carried you through it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then he had something better for you. But because you was a servant of his, you know what I'm saying? And you have reaped good seeds. When you sow good seeds, you reap good seeds. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So God, He gonna always take care of us now, for real.
For real, for real. And we got to know that, you know what I'm saying? And have that faith. You know, faith is the substance of what's not seen. So
Mm-hmm.
even though you might not see it, and shout out to Lex in the building. What's going on?
Hey, Lex.
Yeah. Peace of blessings, hey child. Hey. So I just know, with that guy, I think his story was so special because we saw it in real time, because like you said, he could have made a bad decision and just been mad at the world and just like, you know what, this ain't fair. And been a real
Mm-hmm.
Debbie Downer about it. But he says, you know what? I'm gonna do all I can do, and I'm gonna put the rest in the hands of the creator. And look what happened. It was
Mm-hmm.
manifested. It was written that he had something better planned out for him, and that's just that's with all of us. You know what I'm saying? And we've been dealing with a lot. on the
Mhm.
politics, but it's always good to come in with a good word and you know, give people testimonial Thursday. This probably something that we could do on a regular
Mhm.
basis just to, chop it up with the people, and
Mhm.
inspire, because a lot of
Mhm.
times, you know, I look at it like it's a test. It's a test
Mhm.
to see how we gonna react to it, and if in test of our faith, if we have sown seeds righteousness, like you said, then you going when them seeds bloom, you gonna get it right back
Mhm.
tenfold. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm. That's true. I am her. Hey, sis.
Hey, I am her. What's up, baby?
Mhm.
You said I
Yeah.
love testimonials. I know that's right, H-Child. But see, yeah, the
Mhm.
seeds that you sow don't always be monetary. It could be a good word. It could be a kind gesture. Open up the door for somebody. Or
Mhm.
just giving somebody time to ventilate, because sometimes
Mhm.
we need to get it off our chest. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be a pat on the back, some encouragement, and we got to, as a people, it's been such a cruel world, and it's just refreshing to have people that give you some inspiration and some insight and some kind words from time to time. It's always, appreciated.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's true. So even for those that's on the live today, just a smile, if you out today, and what is your neighbor? You know what I'm saying? An elderly neighbor that you have. If you go out and say, you know what, let me go get this mail for my neighbor today. And just give it to it. Just a good deed. And a lot nowadays we don't have enough of that. Enough love going around. Everybody is for themselves now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But really, just a smile today goes a long way. You know, and so yeah, we just
Yeah,
gotta
we
start
coming up.
pouring more into each other.
We coming up on the weekend, and it's a good way to get a good head start on the weekend. Some good positive energy. Voices for the voiceless. Uh, we chop it up on the politics majority of the time, but I mean, I thought Sis really came up with the idea to go live due to the video that was real positive. You can check it out. I dropped it earlier this morning with the federal employee that had been fired 5 weeks ago, and he put all his trust in God, and we saw in real time that he got a better job. He had just got married, and this, things are looking back up for him, and that's just a testament to God's love and strength, and He's never gonna forsaken us. You know what I'm saying? Especially
Hmm.
if we do all we could do, have faith of a mustard seed, and put it in God's hand.
That's right. And knowing that all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord, and knowing that He, at the end of the day, we stay in our word. That's why I say that's the most. If you having a bad day, all you got to do is get in your word. I'm telling you. Um,
Man,
and you
I
would you
had to
would
do that.
definitely get a. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to do that. Get in my word. Read Proverbs and Psalms, especially that helps me out a lot.
Hmm. Yeah.
A
That's true.
child said, she said, like now, Jay Taylor and Bless Gear, you guys are encouraging me. And and that's what it's all about.
That's
Encouraging
that's
one another, positive
yep.
energy, you know.
That's it. And I'm glad at y'all that we able to encourage you. Like Jeff said, we talk about politics, but we are faith based as well. You understand? Like we know on this channel, our channel, we wouldn't have this channel without you guys and God. So on this channel, we're gonna always give thanks to God and be grateful for the things because again, the small things that we complain about is somebody that's going through way worse. You know what I'm saying? And We just got to continue to, like I say, encourage each other. Get in your word, do something good for somebody today. It don't have to be monetary, but if it's just you calling someone up that you hadn't spoke with in a while, just to talk to them. You may brighten up their day there, or just like Jeff said, just a kind, any type of kind gesture. You know,
Yeah. Well, I
like
gotta
that's a seed. That's a seed that you're sowing. You know, so
absolutely.
yep.
Yep, I gotta get to work. Back to work. This was a good 20-minute live testimonial Thursday. And we appreciate everybody coming through. Tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. And man, sis,
Yeah.
anything you want to say on the way out?
No, I just want y'all to be encouraged today, and whatever situation may be, just take it to God. You know what I'm saying, and get you some good godly friends. You know what I'm saying, people that's gonna stand in the gap for you when you fall short. Or you down or whatever. That's important. So that's all I had to say. I wanted to say, but I want you guys to have a blessed day and know that we here at Voices for the Voices love you guys, and we appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes, indeed. Well, y'all have a great day. Until we speak to you soon. Voices for the voiceless. We love y'all. Peace and blessings. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.